Greetings, sir and sirettes, and welcome back to Stonehearth with me, Lathrix, and of course, welcome to the most adorable chickens ever. So I didn't actually realise, but if you leave an egg long enough in this game, it will actually hatch into a little chick, which makes complete sense, but a lot of games like this don't really work like that. I'm very happy to say Stonehearth does. So we have little chicks, and we even had a lamb earlier. Very, very cute indeed. So, off camera I've been a bit busy trying to get the people to actually work correctly, and I found something out very annoying. Because some of these buildings, the side struts, were going over the other building even though they weren't touching them, it was actively preventing them to be built. So once again, I've had to do a bit of editing, taking away some of the old building, adding ladders of my own to make things work, and finally some progress is being made. However, right now, our workers are busy building this wall, because it turns out this space here was a little bit too open, and thus enemies were spawning here because it was just about the minimum distance from the flag to spawn there, rather than spawn somewhere else and try to come to the west. So half of the attacks were spawning right where my workers were, and as a result I lost 2 people. This no more, and so a new wall is being created. Now I'm going to skip ahead until this is finally created, and then we can get building our new buildings and seeing just how effective our shepherds are, making eggs and harvesting wool. Well, harvesting eggs as well. They're not making their own eggs, unless halflings produce eggs, which could be very possible. We haven't quite built everything yet, but to sort of showcase the fact enemies were spawning here, this poor undead zombie giant creature is now trapped. It spawned in, started walking towards this wall, and then the wall became a little bit too tall for it to climb over. So now it's just going to wait there until it despawns. I'm sorry. When you are constantly fighting just to make sure your workers actually do some building work, there is little more beautiful than seeing things being placed. At last, the ceiling is being placed, and once this is done, the roof will go on top of it, which is here to here, and then it's actually pretty much done. The only thing that needs to happen now is the scaffolding being removed from all the different levels, then I'll add some ladders to replace it, and we have our town hall. It took like 4 or 3 episodes, but we will have the Lathingham Town Hall. And now over here is a bit more protected as well. And look, we even have a pet raccoon. Isn't it adorable? Apparently it's hungry, but I don't know what types of food a raccoon actually wants. Let's have a quick look. Apparently it's talking about a cook. So what can a cook make that a raccoon can eat? Food for rabbits, food for whatever they are, the chickens, and then sheep feed. I don't know. I really don't. We haven't ever made any of these, so let's go with rabbit feed and put in 10. We are growing carrots, aren't we? Is one of these a carrot? No, we swapped them. Okay, so we'll put down 1 more crop field for carrots, and we'll see if maybe it will eat rabbit food. I mean, that would make some sense, surely. I mean, to be honest, raccoons do eat quite a lot of food in real life, but still. We also now have eggs, which means we can make fried eggs, or we could make a lot of stuff. Actually, is it really just eggs only in that? Okay, there we are. Oh no, I'm not killing them. I'm sorry, it's not going to happen. We haven't been making flour yet, because we haven't yet had our first bit of... Oh no, wait, the wheat's going in for the sheep feed. Or is it? No, it's not. Have I never grew wheat? Have I... Oh wow, I'm like making loads of stuff less than I thought I was. We can't even make wheat. We can make corn. But we need wheat. Yeah, we can't actually make wheat. Huh. Well then, I did not know that. That's actually very annoying, because certain things like cornbread we simply can't make now, or peasant bread. But we can make omelettes, and maintain all the omelettes then, since that's the only thing we're going to be using eggs for. That's fine. More food for us, I guess. Or at least, Or at least more variety. Thank you, chickens. Well, that's pretty cool. We've just unlocked a non-implemented perk. The cook's dishes are now so good for you, they have unexpected effects. Very cool. Good to see that there's more coming in the future for the professions, as almost all of our guys now, all of our lovely guys and girls who've been working away as our craftsmen, have all hit level 6 and basically have stopped getting perks, so it's nice to know that in the future may be a more complex profession system, or just better perks. The scaffolding is coming down, and of course, one of our halflings has got stuck on the roof. Everything is going just as planned. The town hall is at long last completed. All that remains now is to actually repurpose the insides. I have successfully added ladders, however, on each level, which means halflings can get to the very top very easily. I'm fairly certain this room with the singular weird patch is going to be our throne room, so I'll simply build over the top of that. So the top floor has been accounted for, but if you have any suggestions what I should use these two floors for, then feel free to tell me in the comments below. One idea I've had is perhaps storage for the finer of our materials. Things like gold and silver and all of our precious materials could be stored on the second level, the bottom level used as maybe, I'm not too sure, a kind of welcoming room. There's a lot of things we could use this very large building for. Over here, we're about to place our first house. Now, the houses are going to be quite small because our farmland now takes up a large chunk of the island. And I still quite like it being here, even if it is a bit out in the open. We have some more cacti being grown. We have carrot seedlings, even more so. We have everything we can possibly grow, and 2 new farmers, because we now have a grand total of 27 halflings. We have so many we can actually spare people, and finally I've decided where our poor people will be laid to rest. Our cemetery is going over here in our memorial gardens. I'll start to collect some flowers from elsewhere and start putting them around to make that a little bit prettier. Well, it's about time we clear some space so we can actually start our new buildings. And first of all, we need to move all of these beds into the town hall as a non-temporary place for them to rest. Mostly because we're going to be using this now as our storage area. This is going to be converted into the warehouse, meaning we can remove this stockpile and put all the chests in there. Another thing I do want to make as soon as we have enough gold for it is these, the vaults. Now, those look really cool, but we do need some more gold. So yep, I've started mining again, and once we have those we can have even more storage with even less space, which is very nice indeed. On the upside, most of these aren't filled yet as well, so I'm going to quickly put all these in here. Then we can see about how much we can actually remove. Well, it's almost time to start building our new houses, but first of all, we need to make sure we actually have our storage sorted and most of our storage moved. So if we quickly go to the mason, I would very much like him to make the stone chests above all else and stop making the cobblestone fences, at least for now. There we go, the chests are now being made, which means we can start removing these stockpiles so we can build houses around this corner and houses here as well. I've quickly moved the beds into the town hall just so our poor little halflings do have somewhere to sleep. One thing to note is that amazingly, you do not need 1 bed per halfling. I only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 beds and 27 halflings, and yet I have absolutely no one suffering from the rough night debuff, which means they've had to sleep on the floor. Oh, not quite. Our net worth isn't quite as much as we want. But I am currently mining out this whole section here, so we should be getting some gold soon as well. I'll just carry on with this, and hopefully be back when something interesting happens, or we can actually start building our houses. Now that is looking a lot neater, and as such, I've now started a bit of a road network just to make sure everything looks as neat as possible. This road network will connect all of the important parts of the village together, such as the town hall, the underground tunnel, our little farming section, the warehouse, and of course, the buildings we're about to add. It's also going to reach the gates of our cemetery, which I've decided to move a little bit further back so that Memorial Garden has this entire section to itself, rather than kind of coming out to the side, which makes very little sense. It will all one day be neat and tidy, even if it will be quite a bit in the future. So, carrying on with this. Now, this is going to be 3 thick. Down here is going to be 2 thick, just to make sure it all fits correctly. So let's do this. There we are. We'll add the steps a little bit later. For now, we'll just continue over here. Still using the clay bricks, okay. And 3 there. 2. Oh, only this bit is. Okay, so 3, 3, 2. I really thought I did that as a 3. I did do that as a 3. What am I talking about? Yes, it is all 3. Okay, it's all fine. I just got a little bit confused there. Finish editing and build and yes. Okay. Now, how do we want this to come around here? It's going to be a little bit difficult because of this little bit of farmland. It's going to have to go only 1 thick if I go around here. Not too sure, honestly. Well, for now, I'll just leave this 3 thick. Just put it out a little bit further, though, so I can put it like this. And that can go all the way down to here. A little bit further back. Which then splits off and goes to the tunnel system. And then we just put it like this as well, because that'll make it a little bit easier. Now, how are we going to do this then? Because I would like this to go all the way around. That might be a little bit difficult with this farmland here. I guess we could just make it 2... Yeah, just make it 2 wide, connecting to the 3 wide. That's fine. And it's done. Finished editing, build, and yes. There we are. We have our very basic road sorted. The next step, of course, is to actually build the houses. And hopefully we are still building a lot of the bricks. Yep, we are still building bricks. We still have the clay. In fact, we have a lot of clay already. Although we could do with a little bit more. So what I'm going to do is quickly order this little bit here to be dug out. Just to get a little bit more clay into our stocks. Just to make sure we can finish it off without having to wait. Build, my friends. Build. Yes. Friends, minions, same things really. So, whilst they're doing that, let's continue working on our roads then. So, we'd like it from here to connect to this, so we'd hopefully like to keep it as a 3. Let's do it here. And here. And then going along to this. The fire pit is pretty important since it is our rallying point. So I really do have to put roads around this, otherwise it just, well, it just wouldn't make any sense. Not that, by the way, the roads do not actually help out anything. Before anyone gets the wrong idea, the roads will not increase speed or anything. I just like having roads down because it gives everything a bit more of an organised feel. Which I am severely lacking at the moment, honestly, in this village. That's a little bit annoying, but that's fine. Okay, finish editing, build, and yes. And then continue on until it's all done. After seeing the roads actually laid out, I have to say I am not a fan of this style of clay. So after the recording's finished, I'm going to remove all the roads I've added so far and add possibly one of these stone types instead, just to make it look a little bit more cobbled. As right now, it just looks like someone spray painted the ground, and that isn't very pleasant to look at. Although it does make everything look a little bit neater, which I do approve of. So now, we can finally build our house. So what do we want for the foundations? I think the foundation should be stone, the walls should be wood, and the ceiling either clay or stone, the more homely looking stone. Yeah, I'm okay with that. So stone foundation, let's go with that. Now we don't want this too big, as I want at least 2 houses here. Maybe even 3 if we can get it small enough. Yeah, like that. Wider than it is long. Maybe 1 more? Yeah, let's go with that. Okay, that's fine. So walls, I would like to be wood. Let's go with the wooden panel, because that looks really nice in my opinion. There we are. Now for doors, I would like the reinforced wooden door. Or would I prefer just the regular clay door? Since everything else is already using the clay door, that would make it fit in a lot easier. However, these do look really nice. The reinforced or just the wooden double door. Yeah, I like that far too much. The double door it is. So what next then? Do we want it to be too high or just one? I think just one high because we've seen the problems which can come in actually building multi-story buildings, and honestly I just don't like the look of them too much. That would look very curious. No. That actually works really well with the red colouring. Okay, we'll go with that. And I think I'll leave it as it is, honestly. Looks a little bit basic, although we're not really trying to build anything overly complex. I want to build simple but nice. Go with the more expensive windows. They have 2 on the front. Would that look okay? Maybe we could have 3 and make it like a mega window. Not so sure about that, honestly. Not so sure about that in the slightest. What about the wooden windows? Ah, you actually have a wide version. That's better, okay. Now we're talking. And on the back, I'd like to do the same, so let's do that. There we are. And have 2. Okay, that's not too bad in the slightest. I like that. Really simple, really easy, really easy to make, and we can probably fit 2 beds in there. We do have a lot of fine, comfy beds. So people were asking me, so Lathrix, how did you end up with fine beds if you couldn't just craft them? Because honestly, I didn't know, and that's why I was asking people. It turns out it's a random chance. Once you're carpenter, or I think it's only carpenter, but it could be the other professions as well, reaches a certain level, there's a random chance of them simply making a fine version of the thing they were trying to build. Like this, for instance, wooden dresser, fine dresser. Cathedral arch chair, fine cathedral arch chair. And actually, that looks really pretty. Did I make any dining tables? Table for 1. Let's do that. Kind of sad, but okay. We'll put that there and there. Then we'll have just the regular chairs, because otherwise it's going to be really difficult. Why are the people living here eating separately? They've just finished having an argument. Is that going to go into the wall? I think it is. Okay, then we're going to simply have it here then. What we could do instead, remove both, put the... Okay, remove all. Let's instead do this. I could have made that a lot more efficient, but I like it like that. They sit next to each other while eating, rather than opposite. Again, that is a little bit weird, I admit, but that's going to be the easiest way for them to place everything, and then I would like the wooden dresser to be at the back of both of these. And then the writing desk. Yeah, okay, let's have a writing desk. Let's have a writing desk. That doesn't look like it's going actually into the wall. But, can that chair go there? Oh, could it go under the desk, really? Well, I didn't know that. That's something I've just learned. Yeah, that's pretty much all I want to do with this, honestly. So, how do we save this? Finish editing, save as house attempt 1. And we'll see if all that gets placed okay. And build, and yes. We'll allow this one to get built first, then we can place multiple of them down at once. We definitely have the resources for it. And finally, since no one's really doing anything at the moment, could you please all loot everything here? Why am I not going on top of... Aha! You thought you could stop me because you're a building... Oh. Maybe you can. Maybe you can. Ha ha ha! I got most of them. So the problem is, by the looks of it, you can't start on a building, and of course the actual bridge itself is a building, so that was a little bit weird. It was just making me loot the floor underneath instead. There we are, that's most of the stuff. So much neater. Really dislike that road though. I didn't think it was going to be so bright and so obvious from the other pieces of land. What we could have done is actually kind of segmented it and made it go a little bit further down. Why is this... Oh, I didn't complete the editing. I forgot these would be a separate building. Whoops. Also finish off those, please, even if we are going to remove them later for a different piece of material. So next, then they need wood. Also, I don't think I actually have any of those doors in stock. Which door was it in the end? It was the wide door. Ooh, a tunnel door. That's cool. That was what we made though, right? Maintain 2 of those. Actually, what we should do also is maintain everything else that we're going to be building with. And if we maintain in excess just a little bit on each, or a fair bit in that case, it means when we're building the next one, once the first one's placed, they'll start building it again, and then the second one, which is already in storage, gets placed, and then they're still building the third. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. It makes sense in my head anyway, what I just said. Basically, it means we're never going to have to wait for things to be maintained when they're actually building. Let's actually put some dining tables down as well, in case we ever want to make those later. Okay, we also need the double-wide window frames. And I would like some of these. However, I haven't found any of those flowers yet. Maybe these would be okay. I mean, we could sneak these into the houses. A little bit of extra storage around the village without really taking up the space here. That would actually make a lot of sense and hopefully make everything a little bit better. Oh wow, we could have these! I didn't even realise that. So, yeah, I want one blacksmith. Oh, I basically want one of each for our craftsman's corridor. And that should be everything. Okay. Continue, minions! And you, I don't need the gold right now. As much as I do want the other things, the vault and such, I do also want the gold. Yes, and that's why we have a new person. Hello. I'm guessing you're underground. What are your stats? 5 mind. Okay, well, if we ever want to double up one of our craftsmen, that's our girl. Is a girl, isn't it? Yes. I was going to say gal, and then I went girl. It kind of came out as gal. Now, I'm assuming they're not floating. They're building that really quickly. Well done. Using the super speed option, which is found in the menu, we have built this incredibly quickly, although my frame rates are the most unstable I have ever seen in any game. At some points it goes down to 5 FPS, and then other times absolutely fine, running at 60. It seems really, really luck-based. So all that remains now for the house is the remaining carpenter items, and then the first house is complete. And as such, why don't we quickly pop down the next house so that people can start carving out the foundations for it and such. Okay, let's actually make sure it's facing the right way. Although I would love a backwards house as a reminder of the previous season, I think let's have it at least this time looking all correct-like. What we could do is put one here, then finish editing, build, yes. Then we could possibly put one here as well, facing the other way. We actually can as well, excellent. And then build a bit of a courtyard there since we have like outdoor stuff already built. Put that there next to the town hall. There we are. 3 houses, which also add 6 more beds, and what I'm going to do, and what I really should have done before replicating that, is remove the wooden dresser and instead add, where are you? Oh, I haven't built them yet. Well, basically, the wooden trunks, the storage things for the houses, we can sneak them in here, and that way, each house also acts as a storage space for 60 items, without making it obvious. That seems like a good idea. Maybe some lights, though, would be nice. Yeah, we could add things like the wall lamps and such. Let's just do this. Just add that to there and there by the house. Wait, why did you have that in your inventory? No, you just put down the ladders. I was going to say, why did you have that in your inventory so randomly then? That's helpful. We can actually place them on the thing themselves, the blueprint. Wow, words are not coming easily to me at the moment. Only just got back from England, to be honest, so I do deserve to be a little bit derpy right now. Wasn't the longest of journeys, but I was remarkably tired the entire duration. And not quite. Close, though. And with that, I've just seen the time out the corner of my eye. I am all out of time for today's recording. So if you have enjoyed the video, then of course, likes, favourites, shares, comments, all that good stuff helps out me, helps out the channel, and most importantly, shows that Stonehearth is a series you wish to see continued in the future. The end is drawing ever nearer now, and a new game is still on the horizon, so if you have any suggestions for a game which is similar to Stonehearth, like Timber and Stone for instance, then please give me your suggestions in the comments below. I would love to see what people would like to see to replace Stonehearth until the next alpha, once we have completed Lathingham. It's going to be at least 1 or 2 more episodes though, so don't worry. Stonehearth is here for a little bit longer. Thank you again, and goodbye.